And hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Box Office Shuffle. It's time for Season 2, Episode 10. We're watching Push, and also talking about Push, as you can see by the poster to I guess it'd be my left, camera right, I guess, depending on how mirroring works anymore. My brain's a little broken. It's late on a Monday night. We just watched this movie from 2009, starring Chris Evans. So weird little kind of lost memory holds superhero movie that my two hosts had never seen, because I'm the one that had. My name's Thomas, a.k.a. Mr. Wartburg. Alongside me, as always, for Box Office Shuffle, is Chris, a.k.a. Gamma Caruchador.
Yo, yo, yo.
And Joe, a.k.a. Joe.
Hey.
So, we are watching, as I said, the aforementioned Push from 2009. It released February 6th, 2009. Of course, we're watching off my physical collection because this is Box Office Shuffle, where the three of us take our physical media collections, we put them in a shuffler every other week, spits out a movie, and that's what we talk about. And this one came out of my collection. I bought it probably back when I was working at Best Buy, so it's been at least 10 years since I bought it. Bought it on Blu-ray. Had a little bit of an issue getting the VLC player to work, which is the first time I've ever had the issue. Somehow either the VLC changed to read as region B, or the disc is a different region than all the other ones I've ever bought. Never had that issue before. Even stuff I've bought from Europe, never had that issue. So, I don't know. We got it working, though. Just change the region settings in VLC, which is great for that. So this film, we'll do some basic facts and figures, and then we'll go over the plot. We'll kind of tag team the basic, 5 minutes or less plot rundown for you. Then we'll go over our thoughts on the movie overall. It was directed by Paul McGuigan. I think that's how you say his name, based on how it's spelled. Most notably, he also directed two other movies I'm familiar with. There's a couple sequences in this film like, oh, this is the guy that did Lucky Number 11, which was a Josh Hartnett film with, I think it's Bruce Willis. I want to say Morgan Freeman, and it's not Ben Mendelsohn. It's another other Ben, though. Guy that played Mandarin.
Oh.
Oh, God. Now I'm drawing a big blank.
Yeah. Trevor.
Yeah, exactly. Guy that played Trevor.
Yeah, that guy.
Those four were like the main stars of that movie.
Ben Knight?
Ben Kingsley?
Kingsley. That's
Ben
what
Kingsley.
it is.
That's what it is.
There
He
it
directed
is.
that. He
Yeah.
also directed 2015's Victor Frankenstein, which was a James McAvoy movie.
Okay.
I can't
I've
remember
never
who
heard
played.
of either of those.
Yeah,
I've never seen any of these two movies.
yeah. Lucky Number
Looks
11. I
fun.
remember. I remember at one point we had it on DVD. I'm sure the disc probably got ruined, but so it's not in our collection. But for any films, but it was also starring, as I said, Chris Evans, Dakota Fanning, Camilla Bell, Jaimin Hansu, Ming-Na Wen, who I forgot was in this movie, Corey Stoll, who will show up later in the MCU as well, Neil Jackson, he plays the mover, pusher, right-hand man guy, and then Cliff Curtis, another guy I forgot was in this movie. He plays the shifter, who can change the people's perception of items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really liked him.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yep. So that's the basic rundown of the cast and crew. The budget for this was about $38 million reportedly. Box office, it had about $48.8 million, and at least in U.S. physical media sales, which is one of the most recent films I can find physical media sales for, it did about $16 million in U.S. DVD sales. They didn't specify DVD or Blu-ray, so I don't know if that number's just DVD. This is right at the tail end of when DVD was, moving off the market as the main source of physical media, becoming Blu-ray. I think that's the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Just about. Might have been the very, not dawn of Blu-ray,
it.
but that'd have been close. Because that would have been, mid-life cycle of the Xbox 360, give or take. So,
Oh, God.
yeah. And then, so roughly made about $65 million. Probably a little more because of international sales. With some of the cast, I'm sure it had a decent international sale on the physical media. So roughly made its money back. Given that you account for, roughly double
Sales, yeah.
the marketing budget. So roughly made its money back. Which is largely why it probably didn't get a sequel. Because it didn't light the world on fire. And Chris Evans, pretty busy dude after this movie came out.
Yeah.
That's probably the
Oh,
biggest reason why this didn't get a sequel. Not because of the money, but because, if you're going to do something with this project, you got to get Chris Evans back. And he was doing
Right.
Captain America.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's like he probably started filming Captain America maybe
Right after this, I'm sure.
a little bit after this.
But that was
movie
only
came out.
2 years after this. So it would
Right.
probably literally next project start bulking up for Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
Because he gets a lot bigger between this and Captain America.
Oh yeah, the
Yes, he
scale's
does.
huge.
Yeah.
It's like, holy cow.
Let's see. What else did I have? Oh, Push got a 4K remaster, which I did not know until I started researching this film.
I thought that was wild.
yeah.
You told me that. I was like, damn.
Crazy. I didn't get to do a ton of deep dive research on this one because, as my two co-hosts know, I came home early from work and I was like, you know what, I need to take a nap. I'm not feeling well. Had a Crohn's flare yesterday, and I ended up sleeping for 3 hours, 3:30 to 6:30. Whoops. So that was right when we were supposed to start watching. So there went all my research and prep time. And we watched this with our Discord. We actually had a decent crew for this one, including someone who already did a couple things of research for me, which is like, hey, thanks, Sharon.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. So let's talk plot. Who wants to start with the plot and see how far you can get before you need to tag in help? I
Okay,
did last
could
week.
s-
So Joey,
I could start, and then we'll see how we go from there. Okay, so we start off with a man who looks like he's in a hurry, dragging a kid who looks confused into a hotel room. And then
that's
kinda
an
goes-
interesting setup.
I know.
Yeah.
In my head, that's one thing I wanted to keep is just like make it seem creepy, but it's really not. It's just basically the child Chris Evans' dad, of trying to avoid the company or people called the Division. They're seeking his dad out. Don't quite know why they're seeking his dad out. Just for the kid, maybe. We don't know. But so the dad blows open a vent. Kid escapes. Chris Evans sees his dad being drug out of the hotel room. But before that happens, I forgot. He says, the dad says to Chris Evans, the little guy, little Chris Evans, the kid, whoever played that, if there's ever a girl that gives you a flower, do whatever, try to help her no matter at what cost. And then that happens. He pushes him out the vent. And then he sees his dad's body get dragged out and stuff like that. And then we go to Chris Evans' current state, which is, does it say how many years down the road?
It said now? No,
Now?
2 days after now.
Yeah, 2 days after now. And I was like,
What's the time
okay.
frame?
Yeah. Now, I do remember that phrasing because I was going to make a comment on that. I'm like,
I mean, based off the
Man.
age, it's gotta be
Yeah.
15 or so plus years.
15 more
Yeah.
years? Yeah. We see
Yeah.
Chris Evans playing with some dice and kind of shows him in a room. He rolls a dice by not touching it, telekinesis.
That's
Then he goes
telekinesis,
gamble.
Kyle.
I know. I was like, ah. And then he goes, gambles, finds out he can't quite control his power that well. Because he loses at the dice rolling game that he's at. Owes the people a lot of money. Blah, blah. Ends up going back to his room. And then 2 creepers show up. Just 2 dudes and an agent just sniffing everything. Feeling up his room. That's where we find out more about the Division and how they have like a sniffer and... Was the other guy a future sense guy?
No, he
Or
was
are
a
they both
sniffer as well.
sniffers? They're both sniffers.
He might be a
One of
watcher.
them was a sniffer and the other one was a toucher.
Yeah, toucher.
Like he could
Okay,
touch
yeah.
things and get the memory of
Oh,
it.
yeah,
And then the
because
other
he
guy
had
was
the
the,
gloves.
the
Yeah.
smell thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Which, being a sniffer is kind of like you're just a creep. It's
Yeah.
kind of what that looks like because you're just sniffing.
Dude, you could
random
never
things.
sniff any panties.
Dude, you're fucked.
Jesus Christ.
And then there,
You can't be a creep when you're a
you
sniffer,
can't be a creep.
but
You
you're
sniff
always a
socks, you're
creep when you're a
fucked.
sniffer.
Good lord.
And they say how they found him was from his toothbrush from X amount of years ago.
Mhm.
And then they leave, and then Claire shows up, the young actress, and then she kind of says,
Wait, what was her name?
"Oh man, is it Claire? I believe."
You mean Cassie? Or you mean
Cassie,
Kira? Or you mean
sorry.
Kira? I think you're mixing both names into one. You
Kira? Yeah, it could be. Kira's the young.
mean Dakota
Future
Fanning?
Sunset?
Yeah, that's Dakota
Dakota
Fanning.
Fanning?
She
Yes,
plays
that's
Cassie.
Dakota
Yes.
Fanning's character, yeah.
Yeah. Oh god, and then
See, this is why we tag team.
yeah.
And
'cause
also,
Jody's gonna keep rambling.
Why notes are a thing, JoJo? Show your notebook.
I was enthralled,
oh,
man.
it's blank. I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
Here's my notebook. Man, there's some really good story stuff in here. Not about the movie.
Oh, we did skip over that this is before, and then while all this is happening, Camilla Bell's character, has escaped the division after being
Yes.
injected with this secret drug.
Shit, yeah.
We don't know anything about her.
Which we find out later is like pretty much orchestrated by Dakota Fanning's mother.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
She saw it all coming 20 years ago, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then and then she got captured, but apparently on purpose, so that way she could. Drop a marble.
I mean, she essentially Doctor Stranged everything.
Pretty much, yeah. She saw the future. This is the one way out, the one way we win. But she had to sacrifice herself. So she breaks out and then goes on the run, wakes up in Hong Kong, and then we're back with Nick and Cassie.
Yeah, Cassie, yes. And then, oh man, somebody else want to pick up from here?
Yeah, so Nick and Cassie, they start trying to work together, and Nick is very hesitant about it. And then they get jumped by essentially the Yakuza of this movie. I don't remember if they have
They're the Pop family.
The Pop family, that's what it was. Which they have screamers, which are essentially like Black Bolt from the most recent Doctor Strange, where they yell and ouch. And then they also have a Watcher, which is like Dakota Fanning, can see the future. So they get chased around by that. Chris Evans saves Dakota Fanning's character. And then after they get split up, Dakota Fanning finds him by being a Watcher, brings a flower, and that's when Nick really realizes, okay, I'm remembering now.
Gotta lock in.
So it's a whole adventure. They run into plenty more people, especially Kira, who we have said escaped. Jimon Hansu is the bad guy, and he's like the leader of the collective, I guess.
He's like lead agent of the division.
Yeah, or the division, that's what it is. Yeah. And so they just realize that they've got to try and keep this thing out of their hands in order to save Dakota Fanning's mom, in order to stop them from running the world of these people. And I did get lost. Is the division a government agency, or is it like its own crime syndicate? Okay, that's what I thought, but just I didn't pay that much attention. Apparently, I just like the cool powers. But yeah, they meet up with a lot of different guys, a lot of different superhero guys that do, what is it, Shifter?
Yeah, that's Cliff Curtis.
And then Shadow. Is that
That's
the
Pinky,
name
yeah.
of the? Yeah.
He stopped sniffers from working.
Yes. And
there's a Stitcher.
That's true. There's a Stitcher who was good, but then also
that we never get why
wasn't
she
near the
turned,
end.
why she wanted to kill this guy. Like, what did he do?
Yeah, there was a little bit of weird rushedness, I feel, near the end.
It'd be one thing if she just
together.
got paid to set him up, but then there's the line of, well, I need him to die slow. I'm like, why?
Right.
What
Or
do?
set up the fact that yes, she did this good thing earlier because of owing someone a favor, but then we realize at some point that she's this serial killer or something, and that's why she's going into all of this, having to make him die slow. Give us a reason. She wasn't the best of characters.
Though her and Corey Stoll would show up in Billions years later on HBO. I think it was it was Stars. I think it's Stars. Might have been Showtime. One of the two. They both play regular characters in that show. Which I didn't watch much. It's just in my YouTube algorithm all the time.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't want to give out spoilers on this.
No, we're not going to go down everywhere.
We didn't.
Like, YouTube had no idea what was going on.
Right.
Going in.
Joey had never seen this before.
That's fun.
So.
Yeah, it's a very fun sci-fi concept from a unique time in movie making, where like the physical media sale was like still something you could bank on
Yeah.
and could still make a large portion of your money back. So those kind of mid-range sci-fi movies in that roughly 40, $50 million budget were still being made. And it's definitely something worth checking out. Oddly, it's one of those movies where the audience is split. It's like 40 to 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. The critic score is like 20. Like
What?
so
Okay.
it's got a decent gap between what critics think and what regular audiences think.
I can understand the critics' score for sure, especially since they have to be more nitpicky. I can see their nitpickiness coming out in droves on this.
Yeah, there's definitely some like, okay, that's a weird direction choice. Even the world building is excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish they dove in more in that. But
I really like that, like, they narration at the beginning of the movie kind of sucks. They did it over the opening credits, which I thought was at least nice. So that was something instead of just having to watch opening credits.
Yeah.
It gave you like a little bit into the world, but then every time they introduced you to a new power, I feel like they did a really good job of showing that off, and then not saying, "Oh, you're a shifter," or "Oh, you're a pusher." Like it was just show, and then it was kind of casually brought up, or barely mentioned, and you're just like, oh, okay, that's cool, that makes sense. Like they did a really nice job of not overplaying it too much. So
I really love this concept. It's also similarly done on sci-fi called you guys ever watch Alphas? David Strathairn, I think, was the lead in that one. Very similar. Theirs was they were leaning more into the X-Men motifs of mutation, but very similar scale. You know, like there was a hyperkinetic, there was a a lady who could like make you like be like pushing, but with like verbally, right? Like that kind of thing. A guy with very limited super strength / super speed, because those two actually would go hand in hand. If your legs are also as strong, you'd be able to run faster. Like I really liked how they did that. They had a tech, like tech wizard, like Forge type, but very low stakes. And then it got canceled because Sci-Fi didn't want to finish the show. But a very and similar era too. I want to say that was 2010 because that was still when I was in college. I think I'd have to double check, but and it was definitely a concept that I'm looking at now, and it's on Apple TV. This movie, I'm like, damn, Apple could absolutely. Like, I could see this concept being completely reworked into like a 1/2 season show, just on Apple TV.
Sure.
Oh, that'd be
because
fun
they love
yeah.
this mid-level sci-fi stuff. They love it.
Yeah.
It's all over their platform. It's like all their platform is these days is like mid-budget, like or high, like well produced, but like oddball sci-fi shit, like Murderbot. What the fuck? Murderbot's great, by the way. Murderbot's awesome. Everybody should watch it. And like this is that would be a great platform for them to make this kind of thing work. What are your guys' thoughts on the film? Well, this is your first time.
Oh man, I thought it was quite entertaining. Pacing felt right for me for this kind of movie. All in all, I will say I would add this to my collection in a heartbeat.
Well, I like to hear.
I thought it was a decent movie. It gave me a very like both in plot and like how the movie functioned, as well as like my review of it. It felt like I don't know if you guys remember Paycheck. I think
that's a Ben Affleck
movie.
Flick, yeah.
And then
they have
Eagle
a similar
Eye.
memory wipe concept in Paycheck.
Right. And then Eagle Eye. Like that's what this movie kind of felt like. Adventure wise, they were kind of along the similar paths of those two movies. And at the same time, it made me think like, yes, I enjoy these movies. Will I ever remember that these movies exist? Probably not. But when somebody says the name of the movie, I'll be like, oh yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah. I think
like that's kind of how I feel
fair.
about this one.
One of our watchers, Sharon, I mentioned him earlier, as he put it, comfort sci-fi.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Like not groundbreaking, not all-time classic great, not, put at the top of your rankings list, but hey, I want a movie that I'm going to enjoy with a slice of pizza and a beer, for 2 hours. Like,
right.
Yeah. I'll put this
and
on.
That definitely fits that bill.
Yeah. Like if
Oh,
this
for
came
sure.
up in my randomizer and I'm like, oh, push, sweet.
Yeah.
Like that's
Fuck,
basically
put
me.
that shit on.
I mean, that was you last
Me
week
2
when
weeks
it
ago.
came up.
Yeah. And then we almost got Pulp Fiction because it's right before this one and alphabetically. So it's like I'd have been good
I'd never
either
seen
way.
that one.
But yeah. So I really like this one, and this is one if I see the 4K go on sale for like $10, because sometimes they do. I'd buy it. I'd buy it on sale. I don't know if I'll spend $20 to repurchase this thing, but like on a deep sale, if I get the digital copy with it, yeah, I would absolutely upgrade this one. And then Joey, get my copy on the Blu-ray.
It's also so weird. I mean, we were talking about this in the Discord chat. Like, so weird seeing Chris Evans pre Captain America as well, because that's what we all know him as now.
Yeah.
And like I went like searching. I was like, what did he do beforehand? Before even Push. I couldn't remember when Scott Pilgrim was. Apparently that was between Push and Captain America.
And you can tell he's
Pilgrim.
starting to bulk up in that. He got
Yeah.
much bigger for that.
Oh
movie.
yeah.
I
And
don't
then
even
of course
think,
the
had
Fantastic
Captain America
Four.
been announced by that point?
I don't know.
I
'cause it
was not
I
as
mean,
plugged in back then, so I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. Of course, the Fantastic Four. I didn't realize that he's Casey Jones in the TMNT animated one.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had no clue. And then I totally forgot about this. Not another teen movie.
Oh yeah,
I totally
Jesus.
forgot about that.
What
Yeah.
the heck?
But now that it's in
that's
my
the
mind,
Jock
I'm like,
movie
oh,
where he's
yeah.
like looking at a picture of himself and he walks away.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
also has Randy Quaid.
Yep. So there's our connection to Kingpin.
There's our Kingpin.
Yeah.
Connection to Kingpin.
Oh,
Yeah. Also, Jamon
still on?
Hansu plays such a good bad guy, just in
Dude.
everything.
I'm still
Oh.
pissed he wasn't in Gladiator 2. The fuck are we
Oh, he
doing? He
should've
wasn't in
been.
Gladiator 2.
He should have been.
Absolute lunacy making a sequel to Gladiator without him.
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit. It was a decent movie. Absolutely would have been better if he was in it and actually central to the plot. Sorry, it's what it is.
no,
Yeah,
that's
it's
fair.
true. It's
Yeah.
true.
Pedro
Very
Pascal
true.
can only do so much.
You carried a lot in the movie.
Mm-hmm. So, speaking of other movies, I got Joey, you want to show off what you added to your collection
Yep.
recently before I go through my massive pile?
Yeah, you
I
guys
got-
went. You guys went to like a big shop, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We went to a Des Moines staple called Jay's CD and Hobby after we went to Des Moines Con over the prior weekend, which was an all right con. I might go down for Galaxy Con over Labor Day just to see what the difference is. That's a little more higher tier, like bigger company. We'll see if the show's better.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Jay's CD and Hobby. They're a three store location in Des Moines. They do all things nerdy, like magic, comic books, vinyl, music, video games, movies, like retro stuff, new stuff.
Yes.
They kind of do everything under the sun. They buy consignment, so like you can sell your collections if they're in good shape. Like they don't take shit like that. Like they have an actual like, if your discs are all
God.
scratched to fuck, we're not taking them. You know.
That was
Like,
Yeah.
so clear when I was looking through the used video game section. Like, I was looking at the case, all cases mint, barely any damage. There was no damage actually in some of the games I was looking at. Fuck, they had something that I've owned forever and almost bought it just to replace the case was Grenadilla, and that thing was fucking mint. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This is fucking awesome.
Yeah, the store
Dude,
was
I want to go there now.
store's great, and
Dude,
each
it's
one has a different
so good.
vibe. Like the first
Yeah.
one was more movies, toys, games,
Yep.
and the second one was more like card shop, music shop. Like they had a
Okay.
Yeah.
massive section of vinyls, like
Oh,
massive.
a huge
Interesting.
section.
Yeah,
It was
like,
fucking
it
crazy.
was awesome.
Yeah.
And
Dude,
that one-
I kind of want to come out there now.
Yeah, it's a great
Dude,
little
if
shop.
I could-
And we
if you
didn't even
want
get to the
support-
third, which we're gonna do next time.
Yeah, no. Oh god, it was so fucking good. Damn.
And then Joe, what did you add?
I had The Revenant. I fucking love this
Ooh,
movie
Bear.
and
Whoa.
didn't realize I didn't
Hang on,
fucking own
hang
it.
on. Is that Discord or
Oh.
me?
Everyone's
Can you guys
dropping?
hear me?
Oh, Can't touch me, Tom. Can't touch me, Tom.
go.
Can't put me in the right frame. Oh god.
Consent.
No, I had to put streamer overlay on to kill the desktop overlay. And I
okay,
forgot that
okay.
moved everybody down
Yeah.
like 10
Down,
pixels.
just
Stupid. Anyway, hey, we're back now. After whatever the hell that was with Discord. We just got done talking about Joey adding The Revenant, which was at a different
Bear
consignment.
movie.
That one was from a different consignment store
That was a different consignment. Yes.
called Stuff, Etc.,
Yeah, stuff, etc.
which was a pretty solid little shop. And then I bought all these movies.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I'm
just a
loaded
couple.
up.
Now, the bottom 4 were bought new from groove.com, but I got The Heat. That was new in box. Though this is from the era where the digital copy is on the disc,
Oh, that's nice.
so it's not redeemable, and I can't download it anywhere.
That's not nice.
That's not
Wait,
nice.
what?
It's a pain in the ass.
Gross.
I also got Spaceballs. It even still has the 90th anniversary insert.
Oh shit.
That's sick.
Yeah. Then I got The Last Samurai,
That's a great
Great
movie.
movie.
Jumanji,
That's a
Also
great
banger.
movie.
Yeah.
310 to Yuma, which is a great western.
That's a movie that
That's a
I've
good
heard is
movie.
great.
Mhm.
Yes.
American Gangster,
Oh yeah.
another Russell
don't-
Crowe. It's a classic crime film.
Yeah.
And then I bought Men in Black 1 and Men in Black 3, which I genuinely loved Men in Black 3.
do you have Men in Black 2?
No, I don't like that movie.
What?
I just don't like the
Dude, I
the
love
plot's
Men in
just
Black
like
2.
I mean, it's really forgettable. It's not as fun as the other two.
I
You
couldn't
know,
tell
like
what
2
happened. That's
undoes all the cool stuff about 1 in a lot of ways.
I don't remember it, so I can't argue it.
Yeah, like
I'll
it's
just say
not.
yes.
Also, they didn't have it. They didn't have him Men in Black 2.
Mm,
So, but I bought 1 and 3, and then for new,
nice.
I upgraded my Departed to 4K because it was on sale for like $10. I was like,
Nice.
yes.
Fucking
Training Day, I also upgraded from DVD to 4K.
Such a good one.
Pacific Rim, because I mean, come on, you gotta have it in
Yeah.
4K.
Let's go.
Yeah.
No,
That
audio
movie's
soundtrack's
that
so
movie's
good.
awesome in 4K
Oh,
HDR.
Yes, it is.
And then a more recent sci-fi movie, sci-fi horror, Nope.
Hmm.
Me and
That's a
Joey
good
went
one.
and saw a couple years ago. Really liked
Yeah.
it, so bought it in
Enjoyed
4K.
the hell of it.
So those are my additions. So now that we are where we want to be, let's talk scores quick while I'm loading up the wheel.
Okay.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
I'll give this like a. Oh god, 394. Let's just go.
Joey,
with-
3.5 or 4.
I know it's a 39, comma 4. I'm trying to figure
So
it
a
out.
4.
So
So it has to be a 4 because
Yeah.
rounding up.
okay, we'll go 4. I want my decimal system. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that my score is pi.
Yeah, because
No, I'd probably go like a rewatchable 3 for me.
fair enough. Yeah, I would put it in the 3 range as well, but like a 3 with a like on Letterboxd. Like,
Yes,
I'd watch this again.
100% alike. Yes.
because there have been some 3s I've watched I don't want to ever see again.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like some 3s that are like, I can understand the love for this movie. I think it was well made, but I never want to watch it again kind of 3s.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
so that's the scores. Oh, one last note. So we had a few notes from Jaron, who was he had done the research for us because he likes this movie.
Yes.
So number one, I guess behind the scenes, the scaffolding, like they had a really hard time breaking it for the final sequence to get it to drop that mass shot where the whole thing drops.
Yeah.
Which is like, hey, kudos to the to the set guys, but also
Yeah.
they did a little too good.
He
was also mentioning
setting it up.
That kind of indie filmmaking that these movies specialize in, like when they were shooting, they were just it's just a street shoot. The extras are not extras. They don't know that there's a film sequence, going on, and you just have these 2 random big white guys coming up to this girl, flashing guns and taking her across the street.
Yeah, like when he told
and they
me
were just
that,
kind
I
of
was
like, I hope nobody freaks out.
right, like, hey, cops maybe.
Yeah, and it went off great. And then for me, I read it, searched, okay, how much soy sauce can you actually inject before you would die?
Yeah.
Oh.
Accounting, like, with even the Reddit threads, like, okay, this doesn't account for the needle not being, sterilized and all that, it's like bacteria and stuff. Just the sodium content
Yeah.
of a basic soy sauce. You would need only to inject 195 milliliters to be lethal dose of sodium.
So there's a potential that killed him?
Like, they did the math. There was a great little Reddit thread.
Yeah.
So, all right. That's our thoughts on Push.
Crazy.
Now that we're finally back and Discord's not breaking. So it's time to pick our next host. In fact, since we're in the final run of this season, let's just pick who the next 3 are going to be altogether so we know.
Okay.
Right away.
You know what? That's fine. That's fine. I'll work with that.
All right, so our first one is, it's slowing down. It is Joe. Joe, you're up next.
Fuck, okay.
Nice. Please not another zombie movie.
There's statistic odds it could be.
How many zombie movies do you have?
I think just 2 more.
All right, and then it's Gamma, and then it's me.
I have 1 zombie movie, but technically it's not a zombie movie because it's Paranorman.
All right, so we're going to Joe's list, and I'm going to add The Revenant for you. Revenant. Save. Save over Joe's list. And we're running the wheel. So this is Joe's movie that we're picking. It's almost done. Hellboy.
Yeah!
Yo, that's
Great
sick.
movie. Let's go.
Nice Ron Perlman movie. That's our second Ron Perlman movie this season.
Yeah, because he was an Enemy at the Gates.
Yep.
Oh, shit, yeah, he was. Good
Yeah.
shot. Spoilers.
And save. Alright, we'll remove that from the list. And
This
then
is the Ron Perlman Hellboy though, right? It's
we'll-
not like
yes.
we're not doing the
Hellboy.
David
Okay.
Harbour one.
Okay, good.
I can't even believe Joey would have bought that.
I didn't know it existed, so.
All right. Spinning Chris's list. It's slowing down.
Come on, something fun.
Okay, so we have the Dark Knight trilogy. Specifically, it gave us Dark Knight Rises. Do we want to start with Batman Begins, if you have it?
I have all 3.
Is that where we want to start, is Batman Begins? Or do we want to do Dark Knight Rises? I'm up for anything. It's a trilogy, not a, James Bond. You gotta, like...
Yeah,
right.
The movie's separate. We could start because
feel-
it is technically a trilogy with
Yeah.
number 1.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm good with Batman Begins.
Okay, we'll do Batman Begins.
Fuck yeah.
And this is our second Cillian Murphy movie.
Indeed, yes.
Let's get another
repeat,
another one.
All right, I will
Oh,
remove
who's it gonna be?
Batman Begins.
I think it's gonna be another Daniel Craig movie.
Dude, if we pulled Knives Out, I'd be very happy.
It's kind of dope.
'Cause I love that movie. I might even see if I can get my mom to watch it with us because she's never seen it. And I'm like, oh, it's perfect. You'd love
Ooh,
it.
Nice.
She loves murder
Nice.
mystery stuff.
Yeah.
All right, and then we'll go to my list,
Come on.
which I believe I did update with everything. Yes, I did. Okay.
And then somewhere in there, we're gonna have a special episode.
Yes, we're hoping to finish up the season with a Superman movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I fucking called it. It's Knives Out. I'm not joking.
Let's go!
Holy shit.
Not only is it a Daniel Craig second movie, it's a Chris Evans second movie.
Oh
Season
my
2,
God.
season of repeats.
Let's go!
Fantastic.
We called it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness, are you a watcher?
Apparently I am.
Warper?
I'm definitely a sniffer then. That's what's going on.
Joey, yeah, you definitely are.
I'm a pusher because I push Warburg to the edge every single time that I do a Kingpin bit.
He really does.
Like, oh shit. God, it's so funny. Damn.
All right.
That's
Well,
crazy that we called
dude,
it.
I know. Like, that's
Out of the
fantastic.
fucking list.
So now we
That's
know
great.
what our next 3 films are going to be. It's going to be Hellboy from Joe, Batman Begins from Chris, Knives Out from me, and then we're gonna close out season 2. We got to figure out timeline, like when we're gonna record it and everything. And then we're gonna do a Superman movie. It might be the new Superman if Joe sees it while I'm in Chicago with Chris. But we'll figure that out and let you know as it gets closer. But that's gonna do it here for episode 10. If you like the vibe of this show and the talking physical media, definitely like and subscribe. Grow the channel. That'd be great. Comment your thoughts below on Push as well. If you enjoyed it, if it's worth your time going back to rewatch, all that, all the shenanigans. And we'll see you in roughly 2 weeks when we talk Hellboy from Joe's collection.